Laura. I'd really love to hear your story. I sort of have read about it, but I'd really, obviously the reason we do what we do is because of what the stories we hear from the community. So I'd really love to hear the story in your words, really, and sort of hear about your journey, if that's okay.
Yeah, that is great. So for me, it was a long time ago that I had my brain tumor. So I had a benign tumor called an acoustic neuroma, which sits like on the hearing nerve and the brain. I mean, not many people believe me when I say that when I had that brain tumor, I did not have any pain, no headaches, nothing before I found out that I had it. The only symptoms I had were hearing loss, a little bit of hearing loss, and very bad tinnitus, like ringing in my right ear.
Interesting.
So yeah, so when I went to the I'd been to doctors a few times, and they just said, "Oh, it's okay, it's just tinnitus, it's just ringing in your ear." And then the time that I went, and then I actually did get checked, and then they were like, "Oh, actually, you've got this benign brain tumor." So I was so stunned, I was shocked because I thought, "How can I have a brain tumor without any headaches?" Because I think people think if you've got headaches, then that might be a brain tumor. So people don't realize there's so many different symptoms. Obviously, when you hear that you've got once a doctor is telling you you've got a brain tumor, it's obviously like horrendous, like it's a horrific thing to go through. But the first thing I said to the doctor at the time, I said, "Well, oh, I really don't want to have an operation." Like, and then honestly, his words to me were, "Well, if you don't have an operation, you'll die." That is exactly what he said to me. I sometimes think to myself, like, what would I have, like, if I hadn't have caught that at the time, then I would never have, I don't know what would have happened to me because I had the surgery quite soon after I'd had that initial consultation. So obviously it was at a size that it had to be removed.
Yeah.
So when I heard about this campaign, I thought I've got to get involved with this and get behind it because I think the more people that raise awareness and talk about it, the more it's going to help.
Absolutely. And part of the reason we ran this campaign is because we know that there are challenges and problems along the entire pathway. So through diagnosis, research, new treatments, care along the way. We know that there's sort of problems along that whole pathway. So for us, we can't see any other solution other than, we attack this in a systematic way where we're going to address each of these four elements and make sure that we bring about change that's going to mean something and make people's experience a lot better in the long term.
What do people actually need to do to sign this and to get involved and get behind it?
So if they just go to our website, they can, and you click on the sign here, and you just fill out your name, and your email address, and you can sign the letter and show your support. We've had over 12,000 people sign it within the first sort of 5 days of opening. So it's been an incredible sort of wave of support. I think there's definitely support within the community for this type of approach, and but it's only stage one. We need to show the community support behind this, but then the next stage is either getting the government to say that yes, they agree and they will go away and write it alongside members of the community such as ourselves, or if they say no, then we'll go away and we'll write it and we'll coordinate with the community, and then in a year's time, maybe 18 months time, we'll present it back to government and say, well, you wouldn't go away and write it, but we have now written it. This is what needs to change. So please just adopt it, and then you just need to implement the recommendations that are made from the entire community.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, there's so many different kinds of brain tumors as well, aren't there? That needs like the research and the awareness. It's like obviously a benign tumor that I had is nowhere near as bad as a cancerous tumor, of course, but then it's still the same kind of process that you go through, isn't it? You still have to have the surgery, you still have to have all the care afterwards and that kind of thing. So it is so important to raise awareness about all the different types of brain tumors as well.
Absolutely. There are over 120 different types of brain tumor. Yes, of course, there are very high grade tumors which have very low survival rates. But the truth is that the low grade community then get easily ignored because they don't fit into cancer programs. So when there's attention on cancer programs, well, what happens to the 49% of people from our community that don't fit into that high grade space and aren't cancerous? And, we've had people share with us, for example, that when they had a low grade tumor, they had fantastic treatment and care and they were looked after well by their medical team. But once their treatment was complete, they felt like they'd fallen off a cliff, but they were still living with the after effects of a brain tumor diagnosis and the effects of treatment itself, which could be fatigue, hearing loss, like yourself, all those sorts of things. And I think those things don't just go away overnight because your treatment's finished. You still need that aftercare to make sure that you're able to function day to day and you're able to live the best life that you possibly can. And that's really important to us, that's recognized, that people who have a low grade tumor don't just enter the system, have their treatment, and then they're left.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. And it's interesting that you say, Cameron, about the aftercare, because a lot of it as well is mental. Because when you're told that you have a brain tumor, it's like it's just the most surreal experience. And then it's obviously, then you leave the doctor's surgery or the hospital, and then you've got to go through go back again and have scans all the time. Like, for me, I had to have a scan every year for 20 years until I was definitely cleared of it not coming back again.
Wow.
So there's that thought of, is it going to come back again? And then every time you go for the scan, it's like, oh, what's the result going to be this time? Do you know what I mean? So, and I think people forget. I mean, it's amazing because you have the operation and it's like, oh, it's all fine, but it's still not really over, because you're still having that curve and however long after that you need to go back.
Those sorts of things, you're right, they are underestimated, and people are still living with the consequences. You can have the most fantastic treatment in the world, but if you're not offering that full wraparound support and care, then people are still suffering, albeit in a different way to other people.
For me, like, unfortunately, I have no hearing in this right ear because I had to have all my ear taken out. The whole of it has gone. So that's, and obviously I'm a radio presenter, TV presenter, so it's really, I do need both ears, to be honest, but I can still do my job that I love with just one ear. That is the incredible thing about it. So I would like people to be looking at me thinking, oh, actually she had a brain tumor, but she's all right, so maybe I'll be all right as well. Do you know what I mean? Because you can still be all right at that. But this is why, like, what you're doing is amazing. So you need the awareness and you need the help to make sure that more people are like me, really, after they've had the treatment and everything.
Absolutely. The reason we do this is because of the community, and I just take such inspiration from the community every day. It just blows me away how strong everybody is and how people like yourself just are brave enough to share stories, but also brave enough to stand up and say, it's not good enough and we want to see improvements, as well as also battling their own health journey and dealing with their own health consequences of a diagnosis. And when it comes to this strategy, we really need to make sure that they're front and center and they're remembered at every single point. So when we look at the sort of policy development work in each of those 4 areas, the community voice has to be front and center, because it's so important that they are the ones who tell us what is needed and what needs to change.
Yeah, and this is why what you're setting up now, especially with this month of Brain Tumour Awareness Month, like, it's about saving lives, isn't it? That's what the whole thing is about. So hopefully we can get as many signatures as possible. So that's what the aim of the game is.
Absolutely, yeah.